Last minute touches, right? Is that what we're going for? All right. Welcome back to another Elevated Marketing Dot podcast, where the dot stands for data over time. This show is brought to you by Elevated Marketing Solutions. So that's Elevated Marketing Dot Solutions if you want to learn a little bit more about us. We do break down complexities of marketing into actionable insights to help your business thrive. My name is Jennifer Denney, and with me I have
Brenna Jackson.
All right. So I think today we're going to talk, well, I don't think, I know. We're going to talk about marketing campaigns versus continuous marketing. There is a difference. So I'm going to let Brenna explain maybe what the differences are at first.
Yeah. Well, let's start with maybe more continuous marketing. Think about all the things that you're maybe doing organically. It doesn't necessarily have to have any ad budget behind it. It can, but it's something that you are doing all the time, regardless of the season, regardless of whatever it may be. You are always marketing. With marketing campaigns, maybe you have some sort of seasonal promotion, or maybe you've got an offer, maybe you have a new service launch, and that's more of a short-term thing to get those newer things kind of out in the air.
It's definitely focused on a specific area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you don't want to have like an over reliance on one or the other. There's definitely pitfalls, and so I wouldn't do that. So I think, today we're just going to kind of go through different, marketing campaigns and continuous marketing and why that is good or not good. So, all right, Brenna, I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay. So, with maybe some marketing campaigns that are, again, they're short term, they're more time sensitive, and they're very targeted. These, I kind of went through this list earlier, but again, it could be service launches, seasonal promotions. Maybe you are an HVAC company and you've got some spring AC tune-ups to prepare for summer.
Yeah.
That's maybe more of a short-term campaign.
Yeah.
Whereas with continuous marketing, you're always talking about your company, how you solve pain points at all types of problems that these people might be having in all seasons. Um, that's
Yeah.
kind of where I think of there.
I think of campaigns for like event driven, like marketing, like you have an
Mhm.
event coming up and you need to market that specific event.
Yeah.
I do think we, did a blog post a couple back that was about re-engagement strategies. Although, that might be something you do one off, it could be something you do every now and then.
Hmm.
I think of a rebrand campaign and how you would like, announce this new rebrand. We have a client going through that, and we kind of decided we don't need to do that for them because it's not going to be that much of a difference. So definitely positives and negatives for that.
For sure. With these campaigns, they do work, and I think there's some other things that are contingent on that. I know we'll get to it, but some reasons that they do work is these campaigns definitely help to generate excitement,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of a sense of urgency. Again, we don't want to look cheap. We're not desperate,
Maybe
but
not
it
an
can
offer
create.
though. Yeah, if you have an
Yeah,
offer or something, it could create that excitement and could
yeah,
get that closing, within a specific campaign.
for sure.
Like
Um,
limited time, like, it depends. There's a right and wrong way to do that.
for sure. It's all in your messaging.
Yeah. And you might have very clear goals and expectations. I think you should
Hmm.
for a specific campaign that you're trying to get out of that. And so that will guide you on whether or not it worked for you or it didn't.
Yeah, for sure.
So why should I not do campaigns only?
Well, It's kind of hard to build up, say, customer loyalty if you're only doing short term targeted campaigns. Because once those campaigns end, then that engagement from your audience and your customers drops off as well. That brand consistency is very important to have all the time with continuous marketing in order to keep customers engaged and coming back. Um, you don't want to be in only promotion mode.
No, no, it's kind of this yo-yo effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about continuous marketing and why you need to focus on that. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. Again, it's definitely building up that just that customer base and that loyalty. If you're constantly just sending out promotions and buy this, buy that, limited time, we want some short term campaigns, but this continuous marketing is going to keep your customers around, and you're not going to have to necessarily fight as hard to always be bringing in customers. You're going
Yeah,
to have a loyal base.
yeah. I mean, you're always going to be creating content.
Mm-hmm.
You should be always working on SEO. That's continuous.
Yep.
Social media is continuous. Email marketing is continuous. All of those are building that, like you're saying, that trust,
Mm-hmm.
brand building, and it's continuous marketing that will build relationships, build awareness. You know, it won't, have less reliance on, heavy advertising campaigns and spends and short term burst with that. It's just going to be more of a longer. So it's like short versus longer.
Mm-hmm. I think about too with having your continuous marketing and say you have an offer that's coming up. Well, a lot of times an offer maybe we could place that toward maybe middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. And so if you haven't been doing that continuous marketing, then with these short term marketing campaigns, you're going to have to work a little bit harder to get in front of people and introduce yourself. And
Sure.
does that, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, that's where my mind goes to.
No, no, I agree. So, I mean, there's definitely a hybrid approach,
Hmm.
getting the best of both worlds. There are buying cycles and seasons where, when you look at it from a campaign perspective, there could be certain times of the year where you're going to have more campaigns versus other times of the year, depending on your business. And then there is continuous, though, like marketing, where even if it's not your hot season, your continuous marketing should still be going on at that time, because you can't just all of a sudden come out of the woods and be like, okay, we're here, ready to buy.
Right. I think about evergreen content with that, but also you can mix that with maybe some of those seasonal promotions. For example, we've got a custom apparel, signs, printing, client, and they're always going to be printing on t-shirts. They're always going to be creating that custom apparel. But maybe when it comes closer to the holidays, they're doing that, and then they're also coming up with guides that are maybe more centered around the holidays, but still that custom apparel or promotional products, whatever it may be.
Yeah. I think about event type marketing where, yes, there are particular events that are coming up, but you can't leave your audience hanging in the off season. And so
Mhm.
you should be continually, staying in touch and coming up with ideas for what can I talk about when this major event is not coming up. Because if all I do is come out of the woodworks to tell you about, like, the event is in 2 months,
Mhm.
you might not have as strong as an audience that's loyal to you.
Yeah, and I even think about that after the event too. If they're learning about you and they're very familiar with you before this event happens, then they're likely going to stick around.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you just got to kind of think about, like, do I have both campaigns throughout the year, and do I have continuous marketing going on?
Mhm.
It's got to be both of those worlds. Otherwise, I mean, we've gone through it like through here, but it needs to be both.
It definitely does. I mean, I take it from Hannah Montana and get the best of both worlds.
Oh, I love it. Hannah Montana for the win. All right. Well, thank you for listening to today's Elevated Marketing podcast. You can certainly learn more about us over at elevatedmarketing.solutions. Feel free to sign up for our newsletter that comes out once a month, or you can head over to LinkedIn and follow me, Jennifer Denney. We do have a newsletter on there as well, and we try to pick some of the big topics that we are currently talking about. So, all right, take care.